Hey, Mass here from BonkTable doing another Amulet D20 list review. Woo! This is our first Theist Priest Imperial 100k list. So we've seen a lot of feudal orders, Imperial feudal, orders Imperial, and so on. So this is going to be our first Theist and Imperial list. You mostly see Theist with feudal just because of the feudal tag being able to grab the Theist tag or the order, the Imperial tag. But with Imperial, he should be able to. This is Syndry's armed with a lack of common sense. Very funny name, but hopefully he does very well. You tend to see when you're taking Theist Imperial that the Imperial is mostly like double Imperial Ranger Corps and double Hunter Cadre for the turn 1, turn 2 scoring, and then as the game develops, you bring in your bricks of like Men-at-Arms and Sakari and your Archangel and your Crusaders and so on. So let's see, as we review this list, how this all turns out. So first warband is a Theist Priest with MSU Crusaders and Archangel. The Crusaders are 130. Has he decided to make them veterans? It doesn't look like it. So they will not be gaining Flawless Strikes. I think they used to be 140 base, but then drop 10 points. So basically go back to 140 to get Flawless Strikes. A little bit of a change there. You can buy it for 10. It's fine, with or without. The Crusaders are actually a much better bunker for the Theist Priest than Militia, simply because they're higher defense and resolve, keeping them alive a little longer. This gets to the Archangel. He has chosen the Aspect of the Sword. Now, Aspect of the Sword has actually changed. The Archangel, I believe, has gone down like 10 or 20 points in the update, and Aspect of the Sword, I think, is now at a range 16 instead of range 12, weirdly enough. Let's go have a quick look. The Archangel immediately performs a charge action with a charge distance of 16 inches, ignoring the effects of hindering. Should they successfully automatically cause 8 hits with Smite, this used to be 7 against the target enemy regiment. If the charge is injected, mark immediately destroyed, and it must be performed as the first action, and then it ends. So, with that, the Sword Archangel will get its 5 impact attacks. It will be still Terrifying 1, and it will still do those 8 Smite hits at Terrifying 1. It allows it to get in there. It's speed 7, so it's March charging 14 plus 16, so plus 2 inches. So it's kind of like having its design purpose on and just double marching up the table, because Divine Purpose gives you plus 2 to your march value or your charge value as your first action. So that's actually kind of nice. I think at 16 inches it's actually viable at this point. The Spirit Glimmers is also going to give Divine Purpose to everyone who can benefit from it. Skatari, Men-at-Arms because they're going to be Theist, the Crusaders because they're Theist, all that stuff. Actually, do they have Divine Purpose built in if you're Theist, or does it actually say so? Let's have a quick look at Spirit Glimmers. Friendly regiment within 12 of the Archangel count as their Divine Purpose special rule is activated regardless if the regiment has been the target. Alright, you need to have the Divine Purpose special rule. There's Crusading Noble Lord, gives +1 Indom to a regiment. So I know all the Theists get +1 Indom, and then he'll give another +1 Indom. He's devout. He has the buffs to give Divine Purpose. While a friendly infantry regiment with an 8 of this character has resolve stage of 4 greater, that regiment is counted as having Divine Purpose. Okay, that's really weird. To banish the darkness, Oblivious is kind of the best one. To cast out the demon is terrifying. Yeah, you kind of just take Oblivious, to be honest. Yeah, banish the darkness. There we go. Kind of wish that it was just like Theist things got Divine Purpose. Really, I thought it was. Why does I feel like I'm messing this up? Army rules. Let's check army rules out. Blah, blah, blah. Red Years, Dynastic Alliance, Relentless Drills. Theist. Pick a sub-faction. Okay, so is there sub-factions on? Sub-faction rules. There we go. Always active. Veteran Theist regiments in the army gain the Divine Purpose special rule. So you have to be veteran and Theist. So does that mean the Crusaders because they're not veterans? Or is this separate because they're two separate things? So if all the Theists gain Divine Purpose? But then Sakari also specifically state Divine Purpose. I'm very confused. But also all the friendly Theist regiments in 12 of a character gain Indom 1. But that's fine. I'm just confused now. I feel really bad. This Men-at-Arm unit is veterans, so they will gain Divine Purpose with their Theist. There's, the Crusading Noble Lords Men-at-Arms unit. What is good. He's got Advanced Infantry Training for Support 3. That's good on his big brick. Sees a veteran for Hardened 1. Sure. He's got Oblivious on them. Flesh Cleaver. Let's have a quick look at that. He is the Divine Purpose guy. So we're just going to go to the Crusading Noble Lord. We're going to grab the Flesh Cleaver as a heirloom. It's been a while since I've seen this. He ignores the Hardened rule. He is Cleave 2 with Flurry at 5 attacks. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. You got some points left over. Grabbing a Flesh Cleaver is a pretty good choice. I like that. Next on the list, we got Skatari, Cleave 1, Devout, Divine Purpose, Indomitable. Still no Unstoppable, so they can fail their charge rules. That's been one of the things that has kind of been the issue with Skatari. They did go up to 5 attacks, what is nice, but I just find they need Unstoppable, even with the Divine Purpose, so they can actually make those charges. They're going to be around the Archangel to just have it go off, because Divine Purpose triggers whenever there's a spell cast upon them, or the Archangel is around. And that's kind of how this, like, Theus plays. The last thing here is we got an MSU of veterans who are also veterans, or not veterans, my god. An MSU of longbows who are also veterans, so if you're within 11 inches, you're going to be getting, they're going to go to volley 3, take aim to volley 4. They're going to have another shot, so barrage 3 is going to go barrage 4 because of optimal firing range, or, you know, half distance. Do a ton of damage that way. Going to be really solid. Let's get into the next warband. Chapter Mage and School of Water with veteran Merc crossbows. That's really interesting. So these guys are going to be kind of be moving up and shooting within 8 inches so that they can get the armor piercing 1 and more shots while having that higher volley stat. I think, what is the veteran cost for Merc crossbows? You rarely see veteran Merc crossbows, to be honest. Simply because there's no way to give it to them for free, and usually the points are used for other things. Like, they're 15 points for veterans on Merc crossbows, and that's kind of rough. Next warband is an Imperial Officer who's Armored Dominion. He is the Warlord. He's got a unit of Imperial Ranger Corps and then 6 stands of Gilded Legion. Solid. Chapter Mage healing the Gilded Legion brick and healing the Men-at-Arms brick. That's kind of what she wants to do. Sakari following up the flanks to defend them while doing damage. They're kind of fine on their own because they're Evasion 2, Resolve 4. But they are 4 wounds, and Evasion 2 will only carry you so far. Archangel with the sword can really get in there, get stuck in, and then start cleaving its way through with its 12 attacks, with its Cleave 2 and Terrifying. I like that, and then the Theist Priest with the Baby Sing carriage. The Crusading Noble Lord is the dynastic ally, however, the Theist Priest, like, when it triggers, the Theist Priest can still cast a spell, I believe? Or does it work weirdly, because now the Crusading Noble Lord is the dynastic ally? Let's have a quick look. Spirit Shrine. 1 Theist Priest in the army may immediately perform 1 additional out-of-sequence spellcasting action, where it automatically succeeds. That's good, because you want to get blessed on everything. I do need to double-check the Theist Priest spells, because I believe he lost blessed on everything. Let's go to Heavenly Blessing. Nope. Bless is still around. We're good. Stuff still works. Then, you know, he'll cast on somebody and give it either +1 evasion to everybody, or cleave +1 to the characters and command stands, or flurry on all the command stands and characters. And then he's always got the flamethrower of Holy Fire. Holy Fire is still fun. I like that spell. Range 12, 2 hits per success. Fantastic spell. Overall, this is kind of like, I feel like a classic Theist Imperialist. One of my issues with Theist is that you kind of want a bunch of Crusaders or like big bricks of stuff, but they just do not have the output or resilience to survive as a big brick compared to like Gilded Legion or Household Guard, because they can take different upgrades. So I kind of find that they kind of fall a little back. And then also like trying to get the upgrades here for Divine Purpose so that you can have that speed. Getting Divine Purpose on Household Knights has always been fun, because then they go up to like March 9 and they're charging like 10 inches or something crazy. It's been a blast when you do it. But I do see power. He's going to probably play really condensed. He's going to use the shooting from the longbows and the Merc crossbows, because I think he's assuming his opponents are going to like hit his Men-at-Arms and Crusaders. Then he's going to have that additional shooting with the longbows and Merc crossbows, and then have the Archangel come in and start sweeping through, because the Archangel can do a lot of work with her Cleave 2. The Crusading Noble Lord hopefully fights stuff off with his Cleave 2 and is ignoring Harden and keeps his unit alive. Guild Legion doing a bunch of work. It's a decent list. I do like it. It's interesting to see his take on it. I hope he does well. He has opportunity to. He's going to have some tough matchups, that's for sure, just because of Wound 4 100k is kill me stats. I've kind of always said that. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I dislike Wound 4 unless you got some like really good healing or some like really good defensive tech. Majority of the time, though, it just kind of falls flat, I find. Especially if you end up with bad dice rolls. And you always have to have a plan for like when you have bad dice rolls. And I find 100k is just like, did you have bad dice rolls today? Yes, I did. Well, you're just losing everything. And it's like, great. But I do like the list. I'm glad an Archangel is being played. I'm glad Theus is getting played at Amulet D20. Let me know how this player does. I am curious. Hopefully they do well. And I hope they have a blast playing. All right, let's get to the next list.